Alright, we are live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Toast the Toss, episode 7. So today, we've got some of our old panelists, some new faces, so let's get started. In alphabetical order, our first panelist is who I call the voice of nationality. Please welcome Abhinav Kashyap as the first panelist. Now, the second panelist is somebody who's debuting on our show today. So that's Kirti Kumar. So welcome to the panel. Our third panelist is who we call the smiling assassin, Tushar. So welcoming the third panelist. Now our fourth panelist is our social media expert. So please welcome Bidhu as a fourth panelist, and our fifth panelist, a refreshed, re-energized Vignesh. Welcome everybody to the panel. So, first question is big news coming from South Africa. Dale Steyn has retired. So I'd like to get your reactions on your favorite memories of what made Dale Steyn special to each one of you.
Yeah, I think before that we must point out that I think your alphabetic sequence went wrong.
Yeah. I realized.
But yeah, notwithstanding, I think Dale Steyn, I think every time he's come to bowl, he's been fire and brimstone. Right? As Sean Pollock calls it, he's always been exciting every time, and he's always looked like he's going to do something different. Last few years, of course, of any sportsman should be discounted, but I've always, he's been the ideal incarnation or the ideal image of a fast bowler, right? The way he comes into bowl, his demeanor, his stance, his posture, it just looks so terrifying. And there are just too many memories. I don't have any one to pick, but I've always felt every time Dale Steyn's been handed the ball, it's always been a bad sign for whoever's been batting.
Yeah,
that's always been the thing.
Okay, I'd love to hear from the rest of you.
Yes, for me, I think Dale Steyn was the bridging link between the fast bowlers of the previous generations. If we talk about Washim Akram, the Glenn McGrath, the Aaron Donald, they all retired at the same time almost, couple of years here and there. But Dale Steyn was a bridge between them and the current crop of fast bowlers with Rabada or even India's Jasprit Bumrah. So I think along with James Anderson, these two for a continuous period of time from 2005 to 15, they were one of the most lethal bowling options in the world cricket. And he was also one of the bowlers who played almost all the format of the game. And if you just remember last 3-4 years in the shorter format, he was almost good in every format of the game. And there was one memory, there was one South Africa-Australia test match where one innings was very short. I don't remember the stats out of it, but there was Mitchell Johnson on Australian side and Dale Steyn for South Africa, and they were creating havoc in that test series. So for me, that would remain one impactful test series with two great bowlers.
Okay.
For me, the Dale Steyn memory was when he came to India in 2008. He bowled an exceptional spell in Ahmedabad. I think so. It was something about 5 for 23, and that helped India just post 76 runs in the first innings. India went on to lose it by an innings and 90 runs. But that was one of the glimpses which I saw of his raw pace, his reverse swing, and wonderful performance.
This is before Ahmedabad became the spinning pitch.
It was kind of a batting pitch itself. But Dale Steyn itself, the name, it struck fear in the minds of batsmen. And new ball, first hour of the test match. So that was one thing which was which strikes out for Dale Steyn. Ahmedabad, which was never meant for fast bowlers, swinging conditions or anything. But that guy had that pace and that Vignesh, that test he talked about. He bowled out Virendra Sehwag, he bowled out Rahul Dravid, and those deliveries were like out of the world, like swinging in with full pace. And but to get out batsmen like Virendra Sehwag and Rahul Dravid on those kind of deliveries, that guy had some credentials. If I believe if he would have extended his career, prolonged his career like Jimmy Anderson or Stuart Broad have done in test matches, he would have been in that wickets column as well, in that records what we see. So yeah, a great guy, great. Even he has not been just a cricketer or bowler par excellence. One great mentor as well with RCB. He has been with RCB for some long time, and even other leagues outside India, outside IPL. He has been mentoring fast bowlers in whichever team he's playing, be it in PSL, IPL, or in South Africa. So great guy. He'll stay in cricket. He'll stay in the mix, I guess. But yeah, that's all. I don't know. I have a lot of things which I can share about Dale Steyn, but I think I'll pass it around to Tushar or Arun for the comments.
Yeah, for me, I think one memorable spell of Dale Steyn was his 7 for 51. I think his career best spell, which he picked up in Nagpur against India, and he picked up again 3 wickets in the second innings as well. And South Africa actually, of course, enforced follow-on, and we lost the game by an innings and some runs, I think. So, yeah, I mean, he has countless good figures in and around the world bowling. So yeah, and striking fear in the batsmen, and giving them nightmares even the night before they faced him. So yeah, all in all, a very complete fast bowler that we've seen in our times. I remember I've been seeing him for the last, I think he has a long illustrious career of around 15 years now, right? So been seeing him since my childhood. So yeah, one of the greats of the game, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's an absolute legend. Okay? And just like one other legend of his times, he succeeded for every team he played except for RCB. So that's phenomenal. And in general, when you have need some pep, you have ginger ale. For the South African team, there was always Dale. Back to you.
Thank
My
you,
only concern was he being a South African, he never got a trophy. Be it in IPL, be it with South Africa, or be it with any team he has played, be it a franchisee league, he has never got a trophy, and that's one thing which I actually feel bad for.
Yeah, you're saying Dan Christian is a better player than Dale Steyn. I get it, Vignesh.
Statistically speaking, that's the point. But Dale Steyn was pretty effective in his first season with RCB as well, and I think that's the hallmark of a truly great player, to make a mark despite being in RCB. It can't get better than that.
Yeah, I mean, welcome Arun, and thank you for this amazing input you had. I just wanted to say that, with RCB, I remember one of the seasons when Dale Steyn came in, blew the opposition 5 wickets or 4 wickets in one of those league matches, and then he got injured, right? So that was the impact which Dale Steyn has every time he steps on the field. All right, moving on from South Africa to our own cricket team. Now, what do we do with Rahane? I know we've spoken about it. I know we've all said that he has that one inning per series, which I think he's already played in England. So the question I have for you guys is, if you were the captain, what is the best way you would tell him to, take a break, or he's not going to be selected for the next match? What do you tell him in the nicest way possible?
I think all we have to do is ask Virat to say the exact same thing and just switch Ashwin to Rahane, and he'll be set.
Okay.
If I was Virat, I would have just said, buddy, you are in England, enjoy your honeymoon. I'm giving you a day off, a test off. Go and have some fun.
I like the positive connotation there. Okay.
Let me swim against the tide here, and I would say he's a vice captain, and his leadership and his thought process on the field is equally important. He just needs some bit of confidence. I saw he was just a lot tentative on the front foot and not going anywhere. His feet were stuck and doesn't look in form. But that doesn't mean that his presence on the field or anything else. He won the match in Melbourne and turned the tide around in Australia. So let's not discount him. He is one of those guys who will. I was listening to one of Rohit Sharma's press conference, and this reporter asked him that when India is 300 for 3, the Sachin Kirani gets out on 8 balls. But when it's 40 for 3, he comes out, he bats like he'll turn the tide around for India. So I don't think he'll be, even if I'm the captain, even if I'm the place of Virat, I would not drop Rahane out of the next test match. He'll play and he'll be part of the team.
I think the title for Kohli should be Rahane Hey Tere Dil Mein. And the song that Ravi Shastri needs to sing to Rahane is Kehna hai aaj tumse kuch kehna hai. Right? And it's,
Hey, but Ravi is in isolation.
He can still have a phone conversation, okay? It doesn't transmit through telephones and all.
By the way, Ravi,
And I love the way Suraj calls him Ravi like he was a school classmate. Well done, mate. That's some
today, Ravi Shastri reminds me of Teacher's Day. It's Teacher's Day today. So, yeah.
I think his career for at least next 1 year is done and dusted. I think it's time for Hanuma Vihari to come in. Chiteshwar Pujara just made sure that he delayed Surya Kumar Yadav's debut. But I'm sure Vihari is coming in the first match.
Just to comment, I think there are a lot of things which is happening against Rahane, and just to add on to what Kirti said, just to be a little bit pro Rahane, I think it's amazing how the tables have turned so quickly. If you look at the last World Test Championship, I don't know what statistics, but there was one statistic which said that Rahane is the best batsman in that entire World Test Championship. And suddenly to this Test Championship, his form has declined so much that people are, and also to add on, like India's batting has actually become a little bit more audacious as opposed to orthodox. So if Pujara does play a couple of good innings more, I think it will be spread away pressure on Rahane and they might just drop him. But again, there is no person at number 5 position who is knocking the big door open. You might just bring in Sky for Rahane, but his Sky is not a number 5 batsman, or even a Mayank Agarwal, he is not a number 5 batsman. And Hanuma Vihari is not scoring bulk of 100 to replace Rahane yet he might replace Rahane because Rahane is not in form. So I think on that 2 parameters, that there is no one yet at the domestic circus at number 5, and second, the last World Cup Championship where Rahane was the best batsman. These 2 would be pro Rahane, but difficult times for him ahead.
Bidhu, to contradict you, in number 5 now we have Jadeja.
I think I
like how that. Yes, I actually have a point to make here. Like if the Virat Kohli is giving any indication to Rahane, and this might be the indication which is on the wrong side of it. But again, that brings me to 2 things. One is the Rahane question, and second is the Ashwin question. Now, Ashwin for the longest time has been competing with Jadeja for a place, which I feel is unfair because Ashwin goes into a team primarily as a bowler first and second as a batsman. I think Jadeja goes into a team because he's a 50-50 batsman, 50-50 bowler, and a 100% fielder. So if Jadeja can prove himself at number 5, again there is no left-hander in the middle order for India, and Jadeja can play a role, construct an inning, then it would be a difficult task for Rahane to keep his spot. That seems to be pretty, comprehensible in terms of what the team management is trying to do. And
I just have one point to add that I think Vikram Rathore is doing a phenomenal job with the lower order batters right now, that he's taken a holiday for the main batsman. Like, itne mein itna hi, I'll do one of the 2, you tell me which one is more useful.
I mean, that was a good segue to my next question. I think some of you have already answered it. What do you make of Jadeja at 5? But are you guys saying that Jadeja is now can replace Rahane and then we bring in Ashwin instead of Jadeja? Or instead of Rahane?
Look, I've been saying for some time that we should look at the option of bringing in Ashwin for Rahane because he'll end up giving you the same amount of runs, let's face it. He will do an immense amount with the ball. And it also gives Jadeja a lot more flexibility to go play as a proper batsman. I was very impressed with the way Jadeja handled the new ball today. When in that 1 over you had 2 set batsmen going out and then Jadeja and Kohli. I was thinking that this is where Jadeja is going to fall, but even though it wasn't swinging conditions, he played the bounce and all well. If Jadeja's batting form continues, then yes. But like I said last time, as long as we have Shardul Thakur in the team, I think Ashwin always comes in as a batsman because Shardul Thakur compensates that little extra batting power that maybe Ashwin, who's not quite as aggressive, he may block out, but he may not be that aggressive. So I think this is probably, in my opinion, going into the 5th test, if we do this one change, it can turn out to be a great combo.
Ashwin has actually played a tremendous innings with Vihari in Australia. The way those two took on the ball, it shows that Ashwin can also bat. Not as prolific and as a T20 player how Shardul Thakur has turned a test into. But we can still have more runs than Rahane and probably more wickets than Rahane could ever produce. So being that too, that you have more runs than Rahane and more wickets you can get out of a bowler. I do believe that Rahane should be replaced by Jadeja as a batsman and Jadeja should be replaced by Ashwin as a bowler. So I am just talking about the position and not the players.
Okay. But that's some comments you guys made. Does Shardul Thakur now effectively replace Hardik Pandya? Has he shut the doors on Hardik Pandya?
I don't know about shutting doors, but I think as long as Hardik Pandya is not contributing to the ball, I think Shardul Thakur will always get an upper hand because we've been searching for many years to have that seam bowling all-rounder. Shardul Thakur is giving us that. And let's also face it, seam bowling all-rounders have a notoriously short shelf span in terms of fitness and all of that, right? They do tend to get injured from time to time. So if we can have both of them, that would be ideal, of course, in English conditions. But notwithstanding, if Hardik Pandya doesn't bowl, Shardul Thakur gets the upper hand.
I think it's more about Shardul Thakur versus Vignesh Kumar as well. Maybe 6 months, 8 months down the line. May not be as much against Hardik Pandya. But then Vignesh Kumar really need to be at the top of his batting game to displace Shardul.
For me, I believe Shardul Thakur has actually shut the door on Hardik Pandya. Two reasons. In Sri Lanka itself, when Pandya couldn't pull his entire foot of 10 overs, he's not going to pull the foot of 20, 30 overs which he requires to be bowling in test. So that is one thing. And second, Hardik Pandya's batting performance has deteriorated since the start of 2021. Be it with Mumbai Indians or be it against Sri Lanka, we have seen a dip in his batting performance. And somewhere I see that Shardul Thakur has made a progress in both the departments. So going on a loggerheads versus each other in the year 2020, I would surely say he has shut the doors.
Yeah, I would be also aligning a bit towards Arun. I think players like Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, Vignesh Kumar, they all fall in one category that they are swing bowlers, but they effectively can bat. And Jadeja getting promoted to number 5 has effectively shut doors, or at least given Hardik Pandya an indication that they are looking for more options there. So right now, Hardik Pandya would have straight away come in if he was fit and bowling and have replaced maybe a Rahane or a Hanuma Bihari, but given Jadeja is taking that role of a number 5 batsman with the amount to bowl as much, so I think it is difficult for Hardik Pandya now to come in. He might still come in at number 6 though, in home conditions where you know that lower order need not bat well because top order will take care of it. But I think in overseas conditions, if Jadeja is number 5, then Hardik Pandya doesn't find a place in the team.
I don't think Hardik Pandya is even looking for test matches right now. The fitness kind of back issues he's nursing. He would be more focused on his IPL and short format cricket.
Yeah, I think India can take a multi-format approach here, right? In terms of having Shardul as the all-rounder for tests and the fast bowling all-rounder for tests, and maybe ODIs as well. Because he contributed well in Australia as well, and maybe have Hardik only as the T20 fast bowling all-rounder and the IPL obviously. So, yeah.
I'm just thinking India might not be far away from setting a trend where we go into a test match with 4 specialist batsmen, 1 wicket keeper, 4 all-rounders, and 2 specialist bowlers. India might.
In Sri Lanka, the last 2 T20As were precisely that as a squad.
Yeah, I'm saying in test.
The way we are going, I think Shardul Thakur might have to bat at number 3 as well. That also might happen sometime later.
A word of caution, I mean, we are carrying Jadeja on our shoulders, but frankly, I don't think he's being tested by swinging conditions too much. In this condition, when he comes lower down the order, when he's protected by swing, or in conditions like the Oval or hopefully even Old Trafford, where you won't see severe swing, definitely, yeah. But I don't know how either of these folks would perform at, let's say, heading. You have good swing across the line. But yeah, so far, with the exception of those few really swing tracks, I think we have a working order, which is against our sacred template. So prepare for it to all go to pieces anyway.
No, but what I was telling is like Jadeja also brings this added advantage of what I saw in the first innings of our fourth test of bringing someone called as not a night watchman but a before tea watchman, and then again bringing him as a night watchman. Now this is something which I felt which India tried to do by bringing Jadeja earlier was in order to ensure Rahane's wicket is not gone before lunch. But somehow after that he also didn't play that much. So we also have an option of these watchmen kind of roles which can be played by him.
I think introducing Jadeja before Rahane was more not to protect Rahane but to play with the English minds of the right and left hand combination. That's what I believe. Other than that, I don't think it was to protect Rahane.
I was actually thinking today, right, and I do agree with Kirti. In hindsight, we realize it's more right and left hand combination. But if you notice, we always tend to lose wickets at least two at a time, right? So
in a bunch.
I think it's not a bad idea to throw one bowler, one batsman, one bowler, one batsman, one bowler, one batsman, so that we put some circuit breakers somewhere. It is just ridiculous the way we lose wickets in twos. It's like we are a team, we are a duo, we are tied together for life, and we will bat together, we will go back to the pavilion together. And they want to go holding hands together, and I don't know what. So our batting order, I feel needs someone to bring a temperament check to tell them, listen, we've just lost a wicket. There's a lot of days remaining, so go just ensure you stay there for some time before you start playing.
I like that template of it now, like one batsman, one bowler, one batsman, one bowler. So I think that'll probably be the new template where I think they're going to say one right-hander, left-hander. So we'll have a lot more left-arm bowlers, and then each of them will come with the fall of a right-hander. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad bad thought, considering how our bowlers are playing right now. They might actually give more runs than the batsmen. So that reminds me, just a quick check on the live score. India 445 for 8, and they're leading by 346 runs. How many of you are betting England is going to win from?
I'm not betting that England is going to win. I think it's open for all three possibilities from here, to be frank. The pitch is flat. We don't have anyone other than Jadeja who can turn the ball, and Jadeja also minimally. So we know Root can score at a very high speed, right? His run rate is very high. So we can't stamp it down and say that we've pulled out the scenario of an England win. But at the same time, we've given enough there to tempt England and to try something and lose wickets. So
the game has suddenly drifted towards India right now, what we are seeing. And psychologically, India are ahead, but it doesn't discount England win here. Right? That's what Abhinav said. Right? Psychologically, we are ahead. And like we did in Lords, like we bulldozed them down. They said those 3 overs which they played after lunch, which were not even required, and brought England down psychologically, mentally, and then bulldoze them with that 60 overs spell. So I think that's what something would be playing in mind of Kohli and Shastri there. They would try to declare sometime soon and put England under pressure. That would bring to India's way. But definitely if Amit and Uri Burns get going from the ball 1, and then there is Root, Bairstow, even until Chris Wokes, they have a deep batting order. So you can't discount the win as yet.
I think David Malan holds the key. If he scores anything above 16, we have a problem.
Yeah, David Malan, yes.
He changed the momentum of the game as well. I think he holds the X factor for England. Root dependable as always, but I think David Malan will play a big role if England have to go after the game.
The contrast, what I see here is I see England in a better position. Now, I know most of you won't agree with my opinion, but the point is that England have 3 sessions of day 5 and probably half a session of day 4, which gives them approximately around 110 to 120 overs. Now, getting out in 60 overs in the Lords was a different thing because that the psychology plays out. Here they can try to defend themselves and getting 300 in around 120 overs is 3 runs per over. And that's how a normal test goes with 3 runs. So it is still under their grasp as long as we try to extend the innings. But I do believe that if England go a bit aggressive and our bowlers flatter line even to a slightest bit, we lose the match.
No, but one point here, right? There's a reason that fourth innings long big totals are not chased because the players are already so tired from playing already for 4 days. So and plus our bowlers are right now really fresh and they'll be coming out all guns blazing. So I mean I do agree that they are batting nowadays as well. But I still think that they'll be pretty fresh, to try and bowl England out. I mean, I see England chances are very bleak right now. I mean, unless an upset happens from their end, right? I mean, I don't see either it'll be a draw or if India actually, if they are actually able to defend well. But otherwise, I think India should go in for the kill. And with the trend that we've been saying with Kohli's captaincy, right? I mean, it'll either be like a win or a loss is what he will also aim for, right? I mean, he doesn't believe in going for a draw. So I think he'll put the foot on the pedal and we'll go full throttle and try to get the wickets. But let's see, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe if India comes out to bowl today in the last maybe half an hour or 20 minutes.
I agree, except that the pitch is giving nothing to fast bowlers. We've gone with 4 fast bowlers and they're getting nothing out of it. So unless, this is where we need one of those rain dances or something to come in, rain tonight, and then tomorrow morning our bowlers come and clean it up. That's simply problem. The conditions are batting through.
I think Abhinav has. Sorry, Suraj. I think Abhinav has spotted the right thing. I mean, the pitch is not giving anything to the bowler. And just to bring one number, in 2018, India was batting last in overs, and both Pant and Rahul scored centuries, and India ended up scoring 345 in the 4th innings, and they were chasing 464. So India has exceeded that number at least for now by 1 or 2 runs. And just to be pro-England, now when the test series began, everything revolved around Root. And it was, the template was get Root, get England. And now I think with the flourish of Malan in 2 innings, there is only Pope who is scoring runs, Bairstow is looking at good nick. So England can be dangerous if the pitch remains flat. And you have to take into consideration England's top 2. Even if you get them out, it is false reassurance, right? England batting actually starts from 3 and it ends still at Anderson. Both Moeen Ali, Ollie Robinson, all are good with that, and they can score 60-70 runs among them. So, and they all are white ball cricketers. So it's difficult to set a target right now. And for India, I think the good thing is the freshness of the bowlers. They have brought in Shardul and Bumrah, who have not played any test matches. Bumrah didn't get to bowl because of 1 innings deficit which India had in the last match, so he would be fresh. And Ali has taken 2 wickets. I think the last time I checked the score, which would indicate that Jadeja will get something off the pitch. So I think these factors would favor India, but it would be tricky. It would be tricky to declare anything less than 400 or get bowled out with anything less than 400.
I'm just thinking another possibility. What happens if we get Jadeja to fall off his bed at the end of the day's play today, and then can India get Ashwin as a concussant sub? Just asking.
I was actually thinking, I mean, it doesn't have to be Jadeja. I mean, we could do it 2 spinners. So I don't know if we could just silently go and say that, yeah, Siraj is a spin bowler.
By the way, Rohit Sharma can roll it, and I don't know how long it has been, but he used to be a decent bowler, spin bowler.
A long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, if Root can get a wicket, I mean, definitely Rohit Sharma can. Rohit Sharma with the centuries this man, I'm pretty sure, he can be the man with the golden arm.
Yeah, he has a hat-trick too.
Yeah.
So does he? I didn't know this.
And he's not very proud of that.
But to be precise, India would be truly regretting them to be sticking back into the template format, not bringing Ashwin even after understanding the pitch. This is one thing what I feel India is doing wrong. Trying to change the squad based on the conditions and not stick to a template. And try whether it's working or not. It's as good as you knowing that a car which you cannot drive, but you will still drive and you will get into an accident. It's a kind of a ridiculity to the game and to the country.
Yeah, that's strong. some nice analogy. But
Virat Kohli is crying now in his sleep right now. After listening to Vignesh's such scrutiny, Virat Kohli is just crying right now. Why did I become captain of Indian team? If Vignesh has such comments.
5 minutes. What did I do?
He's remembering Ben Stokes right now.
I think even ICC would be flabbergasted at this selection. Ashwin is the currently ICC number 2 bowler, and he is not able to find a place in the Indian team based on conditions. It's not based on his form, it's based on the conditions. And if a bowler who is world number 1 or number 2 is because of the conditions, I don't think the rankings suggest anything. So the ICC would be flabbergasted at their rankings as well. Like how could they rank a bowler who number 2 if his own team management is saying that his conditions doesn't guarantee a place in Team 11 for him.
Even when the conditions look good for him.
Yeah. Truly, I remember what Tim Payne said to Ashwin in Australia, that at least my teammates love me. And that brought a deeper meaning to the match today.
Oh man, you're rubbing it in, aren't you? Okay.
Vignesh is personally hurt. Ashwin non-selection.
Yeah.
Personally hurt.
You never know if Ashwin will address this in his next YouTube video. Okay, let's keep a watch out for that. But we're almost at the end of the show today. But before we go, we have a surprise because one of our panelists is a multifaceted personality, and he has something which he wants to share with all of us. So over to you, Arun, for the surprise which you have for everybody.
Thank you so much, Suraj, and it's good to be back on Toast the Toss. It's lovely to see you guys back on the show. It's always fun to be here, and it's less painful to be, just on the panel and not necessarily hosted. So thank you, Suraj, for doing the heavy lifting. Amazing stuff. Yeah, I just want to share that I'm doing my 4th comedy solo called Ctrl+Z. It's premiering at the Bangalore International Centre, Bangalore, on the 18th of September. This show I'm going to do only once in each city, and I'm not doing this online because the content is going to be really, really different. The format is different. It needs to be posted on stage. So I'm super excited and thrilled about it. Anyone who's going to watch this video later, please check out Insider. The tickets are available there. You could search for Arun Sriram. You will find the show link and ticket link there. And the show theme is pretty much around all that we have discussed. We can rewind and reminisce about things in the past. We can forward and visualize about the future. But what we don't have about life is have the edit cut. We don't have that power with us. We can never undo something that's happened to us or something that we did to someone else. And do we have the power to actually undo? Can we undo? Do we need to undo? Imagine, we can keep talking till the cows come home about Ashwin not being selected. But could he have played the first test now? He can't. We can play back to the time he took 5 wickets or 8 wickets or whatever, but he cannot be back in the Lord's lineup ever of 2021. But does he need to do? If he had the superpower, can we do that? Do we need to do that? Watch out for more on the show. Please come. It's priced at just 350 rupees, 50% audience capacity, 100% my capacity. Okay, and all COVID protocols. You need to be vaccinated at least once to be there in the show. To watch it as well, social distancing, mask all through. So all the COVID appropriate protocols and more are happening. The venue folks are vaccinated at least once. So we are making it as safe as possible. So corona se bach ke rahenge, lekin haste bhi rahenge. So see me, that's going to be in English mostly because my Hindi, like you just realized, sucks. Yeah.
Thank you, Arun. We would all be there. Right, and September 16th, let's remember the date.
18th?
September 18th. Okay, September 18th. Remember the date. Yes, no Ctrl+Z.
Vignesh, you had the opportunity to be on the trial show. Why don't you say a minute or two, talk about it for a minute or two?
Yeah, so I was a part of his trial show and it was great. His timings, his punches, and the way he has spoken the entire script was wonderful. I thoroughly had a ruckus of a laugh because I was actually enjoying it while I was outside, but I couldn't laugh to public. But that was my situation. I really hope that all people out there will get to enjoy it. Please do attend the show on the 18th of September, Bangalore International Convention Center.
Thank you. Add your own words. Bangalore International Center. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Feroz. So we will put the links out in each of our profiles so that it's easier for people to click on it. We'll all be there. We would love to see the rest of you there so that you can have a evening of laughter, which is with safety and like what Arun just said. This is not just mindless comedy. It's got a spiritual level to it. So please come and enjoy this one-of-a-kind show once in our city, once this year, because there is no Ctrl+Z. If you miss it, you will regret it. With that, thank you everybody for your thoughts today. It's been another wonderful episode. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for everybody who's watching us live. And a big thank you to everybody who's going to watch the recorded sessions. We'd encourage you to come and join us when we go live. Until next time, bye-bye.